Welcome, history seekers, to a dark chapter of our past. Today, we witness a truly tragic feast. Beneath this heavy wooden platform, the mighty princes of Rus are perishing slowly, in silent pain. High above them, the Mongol conquerors drink and loudly laugh, celebrating a ruthless victory. How did a huge alliance of proud warriors fall so easily into such a perfect, fatal trap? To understand this dark tragedy, we must rewind the clock 3 full years back to the very start. Ancient historical records state the Kalka River battle ended in absolute tragedy. The Mongols did not strike royals with their swords. Ancient spiritual laws forbade such brutal acts. Instead, they threw a heavy wooden floor over the captured leaders and sat for a victory meal. The extreme weight of the feasting soldiers slowly suffocated the defeated kings trapped right below. Outside this grim banquet, the crimson fields were fully covered with 80,000 fallen warriors. Shattered shields and broken Orthodox crosses painted a picture of absolute, crushing defeat. This was not a simple military loss for the European forces, but total destruction. Sitting calmly at the center of this tragedy was Subutai, the brilliant Mongol mastermind. A legendary military genius, he engineered the greatest trap the medieval world had seen. His cold eyes watched the fallen enemy without a single drop of mercy in his shadowy soul. But this devastating clash was never supposed to happen. The Mongols were simply out scouting. In 1220, Genghis Khan sent Subutai and Jebe on an epic journey across the unknown. With only 20,000 light cavalry troops, they swept fiercely through the Caucasus Mountains. Merely gathering vital intelligence, they crushed every single army standing in their path. The fierce Cuman nomads were utterly shattered, fleeing blindly toward the Kievan Rus borders. They begged the mighty Rus princes for urgent military help against these eastern invaders. The Rus leaders were highly proud and confident in their massive, heavily armored fighting force. They looked at the small Mongol scouting party and saw an easy victory to claim true glory. Many modern scholars argue this extreme arrogance was the fatal flaw destroying the alliance. A massive coalition of European nobles gathered an army of 80,000 strong men. Wearing heavy chainmail, they rode massive war horses designed to completely crush any opposition. Confident in their numbers, the Rus princes carelessly marched their huge forces out into the wild. Subutai sent peaceful envoys, but the proud Rus leaders foolishly eliminated them all. In Mongol culture, harming an ambassador was an unforgivable crime, demanding total war. The stage was perfectly set for a huge confrontation that would change human history forever. When the two armies finally met on the open battlefield, the Rus cavalry prepared to charge. But the Mongols did something completely unexpected, confusing all the European commanders. After firing a few quick volleys of deadly arrows, the Mongol forces turned around and ran. To the proud Rus princes, this looked like a cowardly retreat by a weak, fully terrified foe. Cheering wildly, the massive European army broke defensive lines and aggressively gave chase. Here, in a crucial turning point for military history, psychology defeats armor. Faced with a retreating enemy, would you hold your ground or chase blindly? Share your thoughts below. The Rus army eagerly chased, hungry for ultimate glory and rich spoils from the fleeing nomads. They did not realize the feigned retreat was Subutai's most deadly, perfected tactical weapon. Always staying just out of reach, the Mongols carefully pulled the massive enemy further away. Day after day, the pursuit continued across the scorching and totally unforgiving steppe. Heavy European war horses were not built for long endurance running under the harsh summer sun. Slowly, the tightly packed Rus formation stretched out over many miles of barren, dusty plains. Fast cavalry moved far ahead, while the exhausted infantry struggled to keep up the grueling pace. Communication between princes broke down completely as they competed for the final strike. Subutai watched this chaotic pursuit, playing the arrogant princes like a simple game. 5 days passed, then 7, and the once mighty Rus army was a disorganized, exhausted mess. Their heavy chainmail became an unbearable burden, baking tired soldiers in the blazing heat. Water supplies ran low, and horses began collapsing from pure exhaustion on the dusty trails. Yet the blind arrogance of the Rus leaders pushed their suffering men deeper into the deadly trap. They believed the Mongols were equally exhausted and running for their lives in pure, blind panic. But tough Mongol horses adapted perfectly to this brutal environment, never tiring out. On the 9th day of this grueling chase, scattered Rus forces finally reached the peaceful Kalka River. The advance guard crossed the shallow waters, unaware of the absolute tragedy waiting for them. Suddenly, the fleeing Mongol army stopped running, turned their horses around, and formed a battle line. The deadly game of cat and mouse was over. The brutal devastation was about to begin. Subutai raised his sword, signaling the heavy, armored Mongol shock cavalry to unleash hell. A terrifying wave of fury swept across the river, crashing into exhausted Rus forces. The disorganized European vanguard shattered before they could even form a single shield wall. Panic quickly spread like wildfire as legendary Mongol archers rained endless fury from dark skies. Trailing Rus forces arrived in small, fractured groups, only to be systematically destroyed. This was no longer a battle. It was a highly calculated, clinical annihilation. Princes who confidently dreamed of ultimate glory now found themselves fighting a hopeless nightmare. Crimson stained the Kalka River as thousands of European warriors were mercilessly vanquished. Some bravely tried to rally their broken men, but the absolute chaos was impossible to stop. Superior numbers of the Rus alliance meant nothing against Subutai's brilliant battlefield mind. Mongol heavy cavalry charged repeatedly, crushing all remaining pockets of desperate resistance. Those attempting to surrender were swiftly silenced. The Mongols showed zero mercy to proud invaders. The magnificent European army was reduced to a crying mass of fully shattered soldiers. Subutai's genius lay not just in fighting well, but fully breaking the enemy's mind before striking. Stretching their forces over 9 long days, he ensured they were utterly defeated before the first blow. Few survivors who managed to escape the ruin carried tales of absolute terror back to their homes. They described an unstoppable demonic eastern force fighting with unnatural, chilling precision. The Kievan Rus lost finest commanders, noble princes, and the absolute core of their armed forces. This devastating loss left the entire region defenseless against future Mongol invasions. This harsh lesson in discipline proved that wild arrogance always leads to total destruction. Now we return to the victory feast, where defeated princes lay trapped under the heavy wooden floor. While Mongols celebrated their triumph, the dying Rus leaders finally understood their tragic doom. Their massive army, heavy armor, and noble bloodlines were entirely useless against strategic genius. Spilled wine above them continuously echoed with agonizing final breaths of fallen royalty. The Kalka River battle remains a masterclass in psychological warfare and feigned retreat. It established Subutai as one of the most brilliant commanders in all of human history. The Mongol war machine's brutal efficiency sent a massive shockwave of fear across Europe. They proved a disciplined mobile force could easily destroy a much larger traditional army. The tragic fate of the Rus alliance serves as a dark reminder of the heavy price of blinding pride. History is rarely shaped by mere numbers, but by the ruthless cunning of visionary minds. Subutai did not just win one battle. He forever broke the spirit of a proud civilization. Screams beneath the wooden platform finally faded away, leaving only the chilling laughter of victors. A new, terrifying world order was being forcefully forged in the dust of the endless wild steppe. This dark encounter's legacy forever changed the military strategies of the medieval world.
Cavalry is simply not prepared for this swiftness.
Commanders began studying the terrifying power of pure mobility, patience, and deep deception. Even today, modern academies analyze Subutai's brilliant moves in this legendary campaign.
Masterful application of indirect approach.
Deep scars left by this horrific battle burned forever into the collective memory of the Rus. As the sun set over the Kalka River, a dark shadow of total conquest slowly crept toward western lands. The Mongol Empire was just getting started. Their unstoppable war machine hungered for far more power. The chilling silence after the feast marked the true beginning of the absolute darkest age of the Rus. Every shattered shield and broken crown on the ground told a silent story of foolish pride and downfall. Bones of 80,000 men bleached in the sun, a permanent monument to Subutai's dark genius. Ghosts of the Kalka River still whisper painful warnings to anyone underestimating an enemy. Never forget the heavy price paid when extreme arrogance fully blinds strategic military vision. The Kalka River story remains a powerful warning about the heavy cost of blind arrogance. Subutai rode back to the vast eastern plains, leaving behind a completely broken and ruined land. The mighty Kievan Rus would never recover from the deep devastation of this single dark day. It proved superior weapons and heavy armor cannot beat a highly organized, flexible mind. The Mongols fought not with sheer brute strength, but with a deeply terrifying psychological genius. Every tactical move was carefully planned to exhaust and fully demoralize their proud foes. 9 days of endless pursuit broke the European army long before the first deadly arrow flew. When the trap finally snapped shut, it was far too late for the scattered princes to save themselves. This brilliant but brutal victory perfectly showed the deadly efficiency of the Mongol horde. They struck like lightning across the open steppes, destroying everything in their devastating path. European kings quickly realized that massive stone castles might not protect them from this fierce storm. Terrifying stories from survivors spread massive panic throughout the entire Western world. Subutai's legendary campaign of terror became the ultimate nightmare for Christian Europe. He rode thousands of miles across unknown lands, crushing all resistance with cold and dark logic. The tragic feast upon fallen princes was a clear, terrifying message to future foes. It boldly stated that no amount of royal blood could ever save you from the mighty Khan's wrath. Decades later, the Mongols would return in full force to completely finish what Subutai started. Kievan Rus civilization was reduced to ashes under the unstoppable Golden Horde. But the first fatal blow was struck at the Kalka River by a master of deadly deception and speed. Historians still marvel at the total perfection of this highly devastating trap. The feigned retreat is a highly dangerous maneuver, requiring absolute discipline and skill. Only a commander with supreme confidence and control could execute it perfectly like this. Subutai controlled the chaotic battlefield like a grandmaster playing a complex game of chess. He turned the enemy's greatest strength, massive numbers and heavy armor, into their fatal doom. The weight of their own chainmail dragged the exhausted warriors down into the muddy riverbed. Endless pride blinded them to the obvious danger lurking just beyond the dusty horizon. Ultimately, the battle was won by the unbreakable psychological discipline of Mongols. They patiently waited for the exact right moment to turn their fast horses and unleash hell on Earth. The battle-scarred earth of the Kalka River remembers the terrifying screams of fallen princes. Their broken crowns and rusty swords remain a silent testament to the absolute tragedy of war. As harsh winds blow across the empty steppes, the dark ghosts of the past continue to ride fiercely. They remind us that true military power is not about heavy weapons carried into a fight. It is about the sharp, strategic mind that directs weapons with cold precision and deadly timing. Subutai is remembered as the legendary architect of a brilliantly brutal victory. His dark legacy of psychological warfare forever changed the way massive armies fought and fell. Mongol cavalry shadows continue to haunt the nightmares of medieval European history. The chilling victory feast upon fallen kings remains the ultimate symbol of absolute power. Subutai's retreat was brilliant mental warfare. Was it sheer genius or a cruel trick? Tell us below. Could the Rus princes have won if they kept their discipline and tight unity? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this deep historical dive, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tales.